Sometimes when you go to a new place, it can feel a bit overwhelming. With so many Caribbean islands to choose from can be exciting. But what are some of the things you should consider before traveling to one of these beautiful islands? The good news is that your travels to the Caribbean need not be intimidating or scary. The Caribbean boasts about 700 islands, but only 28 of them are deemed sovereign states and dependent territories. Starting with the Bahamas and Cuba, located off the tip of Florida, the string of Caribbean countries arc down towards Venezuela. If traveling to the Caribbean is on your bucket list, in this video, we will unveil 10 tips you should definitely consider whether it's your first trip, second trip, or a frequent traveler to the region. It is unfair to see these islands as nothing but white beaches, palm trees, rum, and parties. There is so much more to this than meets the eye. There are also important considerations in terms of safety and interaction with locals, which visitors should keep in mind. Let us help you with a list of the top 10 tips for visitors to the Caribbean. Oh, by the way, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for our future videos. Number 1. Do not limit yourself to the all-inclusive resorts. We know many travel agencies recommend staying safe within the walls of your all-inclusive resort, scaring travelers with all sorts of dangers out there. However, you'd be missing the real local experience, the culture, the food, and the atmosphere of the country you are visiting. You just need to be mindful, use some common sense, and move with licensed operators or trusted guides. Avoid sketchy-looking vehicles or people. In addition to this, do not leave valuables in rental cars or on the beach. Keep expensive phones, cameras, or cash out of sight, and be respectful. You'll enjoy the experience without any problems. Number 2. Eat at local restaurants. Local cuisine is a must in the Caribbean. You cannot visit these countries and only feed on the bland, international-oriented food served within the walls of your hotels or resorts that are prepared specifically for foreigner taste buds. The Caribbean cuisine is a major part of the experience, and every island is different with its unique taste, a true mix of flavors, spices, and seasonings that you will rarely find anywhere else in the world. Enjoy the locally prepared food. Stop at the local cook shops on the road to your excursions or attractions, and soak in the Caribbean flavors with pleasure and an open mind. You won't regret it. Number 3. Consider renting a vehicle. Especially if you are staying in a remote location, or you want to visit any off-the-beaten-track destinations, you might prefer to enjoy the freedom of your own rental vehicle, rather than overpaying a private driver or venturing into the complicated local public transportation system. The rental solution has some downsides too. Driving in many Caribbean locations can be challenging due to narrow, uneven, or winding roads, reckless drivers, and scarce indications on the road. It can be easy to get lost or to incur mechanical failures here, so consider wisely which option is best for you. Route taxis are normally quite inexpensive and take you pretty much everywhere, but can be equally challenging if you don't know the country well. They might be a good option if you move with a local chaperone. Number 4. Do not get intimidated by the language barriers. Local dialects and accents can sound a bit aggressive and hard to understand for the not well-trained ears. But Caribbean people are friendly and will do their best to make you feel at home. So communicate freely and let them know if you do not understand. They might speak their language out of habit or convenience, but most of them speak very decent English, French, or Spanish, even German or Dutch, based on where you are traveling. It will be very useful to learn some basic expressions in the island's patois to show them your willingness to communicate. It might get you better assistance and even better prices at the local retail outlets. Number 5. Do not buy drugs. Well, under the counter. Drugs are illegal in all Caribbean islands. Surprisingly for most tourists, even in Jamaica, which is often seen as a place where weed can be consumed freely everywhere, it is not. Do not get yourself in trouble for buying or consuming drugs in public. The possession, cultivation, and selling of any illicit substances, including cannabis, have been prohibited here for many decades. Even though some drugs, mostly cannabis and ganja, are commonly used, and abused. In some Caribbean countries, it remains an illegal activity that many tourists get in trouble for while visiting. Number 6. Be ready in case of health issues. The health system in most Caribbean countries, especially the poorest ones, is not always the best and certainly is not at the same level as the many Western developed world standards. It is important that you consider having international health insurance to cover the costs of any hospitalization or medical care, and that you are aware of the standards of local hospitals. Long waits, understaffed and outdated facilities, and structural issues can be overwhelming for a visitor ending up in a public facility. Private ones, on the other hand, have higher standards but can be quite costly. Insurance might save your life and your pocket in this case. See links below on where to find quality travel insurance before starting your travels. Number 7. Research the best time to visit your Caribbean island of choice. When planning your exotic Caribbean escape, you need to take into consideration factors such as the weather, season, and temperature to ensure you have full comfort and little to no risks. The majority of the Caribbean islands are affected by the occurrence of hurricanes. However, some islands are located under the so-called hurricane belt and do not present any risks in the hurricane season. The summer months from June to October are those at the highest risks. This might simply mean higher rainfall and stronger winds, not necessarily hurricanes. People in the Caribbean are used to these conditions and make good preparations in the event of one major storm. The hotels and most houses are built with this danger in mind, and shelters are made available by local government and administrations. Summer is therefore considered the low season for traveling in the Caribbean, which as a result also means cheaper flights, cheaper room rates, and generally less crowded beaches or attractions. Number 8. All about money. When it comes to money, be extremely careful. First of all, it is a good idea to always have some cash in local currency in hand, as many places do not accept credit or debit cards yet. Think about the little food shack on the beach or down the road. Also, a tip in local currency is always much appreciated, as its recipient can immediately use it for taxi fare or lunch money. If you desire to exchange some money for local currency, do not do it at the airport, harbor, or touristic places. The exchange rates are awfully low. Ask your driver to take you to the local cambio or bank and do it there. In addition, most Caribbean countries have dual currency ABMs, so you can withdraw from your overseas account in local currency too. Last but not least, when handling money, stick to a low-key profile. Do not show the location of your wallet. Do not leave it unattended. Do not keep it in your back pocket or backpack, but rather where you can reach it with no effort, and avoid walking with large sums of cash. Number 9. That Caribbean sun is no joke. This is something that people living in the Caribbean experience all the time. Tourists traveling to the Caribbean can get terribly sunburnt after just one day at the beach, jeopardizing the rest of their vacation with pain and discomfort at the very least. Little does it matter whether you are black or white. A sunscreen is to be considered mandatory under the Caribbean sun, especially if you are coming from cold weather and just can't wait to soak up that sun and are not used to its intensity. In order to protect yourself but also the environment, please remember to use a coral reef-safe sunblock, which does not damage the delicate reefs around our beautiful islands, preserving their flora and fauna. You can purchase them in local pharmacies, hotel gift shops, or any souvenir shop in the proximity of the best beaches on the islands. At the same time, do not forget a good mosquito repellent, especially around sunset time. Caribbean mosquitoes can be very hungry and annoying. It is normally not a big deal, just a nuisance, but do not underestimate the fact that diseases such as Zika and dengue are still quite common here. If you find the information in this video useful, we would greatly appreciate if you would give this video a like. Just go ahead and click the like button below. Thank you. Number 10. The Caribbean is not only about beaches. There is so much to do throughout the Caribbean, and each island offers unique experiences. The Caribbean islands are not only the right destination for beach lovers, so many diverse and exciting activities are possible. You can go hiking the mountains among lush vegetation, or snorkeling and scuba diving in the depth of the Caribbean Sea with all kinds of tropical fish. You can go bird watching, even mountain biking on hills and mountains. You can discover the culture and history of the country, and you can explore sleeping volcanoes, impervious mountains, refreshing waterfalls, and adventurous rainforests. We hope that with this list of the top 10 tips for first-time visitors to the Caribbean, you are now ready to come and explore our beautiful islands. As you see, with a bit of common sense and an open mind, you will be safe and you will have tons of fun. Many adventures await you here, and the experiences you'll make will enrich you for the rest of your life. Come to the Caribbean and feel alright! Let us know you like this video by hitting that thumbs up button. And if you are a first-time visitor considering a Caribbean trip, be sure to leave a comment and tell us which island you are considering and why. Also, do not forget to like, subscribe, and share our channel and turn on the notification bell for our next video as we explore the Caribbean rich cultures together. Visit Jairy.com or click the link in the description below to visit our Caribbean lifestyle and travel blog. Click and watch the next video as we explore the Caribbean together.